For hundreds of years, persons have been fighting for the title of who is the richest person in the world. But in the past year, there has been a couple reoccurring contenders, mainly from the United States of America. But what about those international persons who are on this list? Simple complex things like the decline or the rise in share prices can easily alter the net worth of some of these billionaires. And with the unpredictability of the coronavirus, you'll never know what will happen next. This is how Bernard Arnault became the richest man in the world. So as usual, welcome back to the channel. And for more content like this, please be sure to turn on your post notification bell after you've subscribed, liked and shared the video. And you can follow Concept of the Mind on Instagram. So without any further delay, let's get right into the video. So as the introduction stated, today we'll be talking about how Bernard Arnault became the richest man in the world, and how he was able to beat the likes of Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. So before anyone tries to attack me on the way that I pronounce his name is a French name, so this is the actual pronunciation of his name. So who is Bernard Arnault? Bernard Arnault is a French billionaire and business investor who also loves to collect art, I would think for financial reasons. He was born on the 5th of March in 1949. He is the chairman and also the chief executive of the LVMH business group. So I know a lot of persons might not know exactly who this guy is, being the fact that he is from France and we are from an English speaking part of the world. So let me give you a brief lesson on his history and where he is actually coming from before he got this rich. So long before Bernard had it in his intention to become the owner of Louis Vuitton and to be renowned for creating the biggest fashion business in the world, he actually came from a humble beginning. So from a young age, Bernard had it in his intentions to become a very successful businessman. So with the right mindset and the right family members behind him, he left high school and enrolled in a very prestigious school in France, where he received a degree in engineering. After leaving this prestigious college, he left and worked with his father at his civil engineering company as an engineer. So straight off the bat, as he entered his father's business, he started to convince his father to make certain changes in the growth of the business and for the expansion of the business. And with just a few years in the business, he convinced his father to change the business module from whatever it was to enter the booming real estate market. So after years of working with his father and changing the business module completely, there has been some success for the business and eventually some success for him. He then later purchased Christian Dior and then started his fame as a wealthy and successful business investor. And after his purchase of Christian Dior, he then accumulated another store called the Le Bon Marché, a department store in France. So in the creation of the LVMH business group, this was the result of two businesses merging into one, thus creating the LVMH. So right off the bat, Bernard, with his business sense, immediately knew that LVMH would become something special. So he then eventually invested millions right off the bat into this business. So that immediately made him the first shareholder of the business, and then he was then selected for a member of the executive management board. He held this position for years to come and created a very successful fashion business that has created a lot of trends in the fashion world and making him millions at the same time. So what is it like for you to become such a rich person in this world? What does it actually take for you to accumulate this type of wealth? Well, behind Bernard's billions of dollars, there's actually a very tough and strict businessman. After investing millions over the years in the LVMH business group, he then fired some of the top executives and then recruited new talents. So it was obvious that he had a different perspective for where the business was going, and other persons did not want to come with him. So I can't necessarily blame him for firing them. I mean, look where the business is at now. So he was a very tough task maker and a very tough person to run this type of business. And with the visions that he had, if you didn't make the cut, you would get cut. So if he hired you and you didn't match up to the level that he thought you were, he would quickly terminate your contract and get someone else to replace you. So this is where he set about to set some very ambitious plans for his business. And over the course of the 90s, he then accumulated other businesses under his umbrella, such as Marc Jacobs, Sephora, and Thomas Pink. So by now in the video, I know that most persons would like to know how he became the richest man in the world. And it's kinda easy, but yet still kind of complex if you don't understand exactly how shares work. So at first, his net worth was $186.4 billion, beating Jeff Bezos' $186 billion. So he was only 0.4 richer than Jeff Bezos. But then over the course of a week, he then fell back to number 2 and then back at first, thus making him still the richest man in the world. But how exactly this happened is the shares fell in Jeff Bezos' Amazon, and the shares in the LVMH group has risen by certain percentages. Let me get down into the details. So in 2021, Bernard Arnault has added over 47 billion to his net worth just by the start of this year. So last week, the shares for Bernard's company has risen by nearly 0.5%, and then the shares in Jeff Bezos' Amazon has fell by 1%. So this percentage drop shaved off $2.3 billion off of Jeff Bezos' net worth, thus putting him to the $186 billion. So one of the reasons why LVMH made over $47 billion this year is recently in January, they made a contract agreement with Tiffany worth over $15.3 billion. This is believed to be one of the highest acquisitions a luxury brand has ever made in the history of time. And for that honorary mention, not to stray from the topic, but I felt like this had to be put into this video. Just a few days ago, Rolls-Royce released a statement that they were making 3 one-off cars from their coach building platform called the Boat Tail. And before this project, Rolls-Royce made 2 one-off cars before. The first was called the Exhilarator and the most recent called the Sweptail. The price for the Exhilarator was estimated at £1.3 billion and was owned by Birdman, the rapper, and then bought from him by Jay-Z. And the price for the one-of-one Sweptail is at £13 billion. So based on the price ranges of these cars, you can only imagine the price of the most recent Boat Tail. Yes, it's very expensive. It's at £20 billion. And this is the most expensive car in the world. And this is the most expensive Rolls-Royce. And the reason for this honorary mention is that Jay-Z and Beyonce are one of the 3 persons who are a part of this Rolls-Royce commission to make only 3 of these cars. The 3 most obvious reasons why this car is made is to bring forth a new progress in Rolls-Royce, to satisfy customer needs, and to further investments long-term in the future for these persons. Because when you buy a car like this for £20 million, you can just imagine what the retail value would be like after 10 years. So the final question is, will he maintain this position of the richest man in the world, with him owning major stakes in the LVMH brand, which owns over 77 other brands underneath its umbrella, with the likes of Jeff Bezos saying that he is now stepping down from being the CEO of Amazon, and Jack Ma doesn't really seem to know what he's doing since of lately, or just being out of the media light itself. Or even Elon Musk trying to put together his supercars and his off-road Cybertruck that has been delayed for so many times. But let me know what you think. You can leave that in the comment sections below. So as usual, thank you for watching, and I hope this video has enlightened you about certain things that you would like to know about, and somewhat inspire you to be one of these Bernard Arnault persons. and be one of the richest persons even in your country. This was Concept of the Mind. Oh, and don't forget to share the video and to like the video.